Hips are down. Without mic, I'm talking. Amen. Pastor. Sir. So I want to say well done to you, sir, Mr. Dominic, for the great job you are doing. And sincerely, when we're coming, I was looking at you and I said, this is not your show, but I must tell you that you have stolen the show. That's the truth. I looked at you and I said, this is what every employer is searching for. Somebody who can stand in when you are nowhere to be found. And I've seen that in him, not only in himself, but because we are working closely, I have seen it practically in him. Please help me appreciate Mr. Dominic. So, having said that, let me congratulate you for taking this step to make yourself available to be here today. And I'll tell you why I am saying so. Make yourself available to be here today. You know the reason why I'm saying so is because the information at our disposal, at our level, if many of our parents had that information at our age, they won't be where they are today. That's the truth. I overheard your conversation there, and I can attest to the fact that many of our parents have made mistakes, that we are the ones coming to tell them that this is it. This is the way it should go. Now, I'm on a transaction at the moment. By the grace of God, I did a transaction on behalf of my mother, and that when the moment the property was sold, she told them to pay the money into my account. Now, and I said, I'm going to hold on to that money until I'm satisfied with what she wants to do, the property she wants to put it on next. I have not told her to buy from any of my estates. I have not recommended any place for her. But I told her, I said, can you remember a particular property you bought? I was talking to her in the vehicle, and I reminded her of a particular property she bought 29 years ago. And I said, look at the sufferness you went through to get that property. That was barely 2 years after I lost my father. 31 years ago, my father died. 2 years after the demise of my father, she bought that property. Now, between that time and now there is an expressway behind the property now, and I go through that expressway every Sunday when I'm going to church. So I always say that's my mom's house. So now the beauty of it is this. I said, if you have such a thing that you've waited and you have bought time that long, don't you think the remaining part of the place should be built with the funds you have now? Now there's an existing building there, but the remaining parts, I can design something that will blow our mind off with the little space that is remaining. So meaning that no money should remain in the bank. I can say a million times, no money should remain in the bank, because even banks are coming to trusted real estate companies to keep money for them in property. That's the truth. Now, even the so-called people who are in the political space, they are in every way, all they just need to know about you is that they can trust you. Once trust is established, forget the rest. Then also, I will always pray this prayer as a Christian, that Lord, let none among them that wants to invest through me call me a big man. Amen. You don't get it. Amen. When they call you a big man, they won't see a reason to help you. Some people buy from me because they say, I want to help you. And it's better they see me that way. Abi, if you see me as somebody you can help, you can keep like 500 million with me. If you just want to help my career. So maybe much later, you can now see whatever God has done in my life. And you say that, I didn't know that you are this much. But all the glory to God. But now, where are we going and why are we here? The first thing is to add more to our knowledge. In 2008, 2009, I will go to site inspections like this. And I need to show you some of those pictures where I was looking like Fido Dido. If you think I'm robust now, then you get it wrong. Come and see that time. So you see what I look like then. They just call on see me, I will just badun. Like, Is fasting. Because I've always said it actually, that sales is spiritual. Especially that you want to sell what is a gift from God. You need to be connected to the owner of that gift to be able to sell that gift. So we are standing on it right now, and he will only give it to whosoever he will. It is not of your own doing. Now, for people to get to what you want to sell, you want to come take people to this estate and you want them to buy from it, you must use something. You must use something. Because, you know, we have the authority to always... I remember one particular incident where my wife will pack a sand of a particular estate and she will say, Lord, I know that you said the hearth is of you and the fullness thereof. So I take from this sand because I desire that we will home inside this place. And she'll pack it and go and pray. She'll pack the sand and take it somewhere. And by the time she goes, I mean, she did it back to back for like a year. And by the end of that year, miraculously, the finance came. And we're able to secure that property. So it belongs to someone, and that's God. And for you to bring anybody to buy from you, it takes God to convince their hearts. So many of us struggle over talking to prospects, but there are keys to use to open. I always say this, there is no strong man who does not have a key to open the strong door of their heart. There is no strong man who does not have a key to open the strong door of their hearts. Even armed robbers are looking for who to trust. You don't get it. Now, he wants to keep the money. He's looking for somebody who is not in his team. He's looking for a pastor, an imam, whom he will be asking, born again, you don't get it. Shoti, don't worry. Has he handled money before? Can I do this? Now, when you are coming, from the time you are in the bus, when you are coming for inspection, maybe car or bus, wherever you find yourself, you need to take ownership of that trip. You must take note of that. How do I mean? You driving in front, the prospect driving at the back is a field inspection from the beginning. I'll give you an instance. One of my colleagues is not in Nigeria at the moment. You know, we worked together at a time. He actually was coming and the prospect was driving behind. And to the prospect, it was looking like it was too far away. So you look at the back, you can't find them again. They've turned back. Wow. Now, that's a good case, actually. The worst one was the one that he was driving behind them. And the prospect said that, come on, guy, I beg, park, wait for front. The next thing was planning to beat the person, say, you know, tell me, say this place far like this now. So now, there are ways of being in the same vehicle with your prospect that can make that trip very enjoyable. Now, you need to start with a story. Now, from the time we started at Omole, I have the story of one major person whose father was to buy into Omole, and they were begging him to buy 2 plots. And he said, inside that bush, God forbid. The same Omole where the office of this great organization is located, they were begging the man to buy 2 plots. He said, what will he be doing in that place? Thank God he bought it, because that's the only property the man has today. And that's where he lives today. He's retired. He can't jump around again. So now, you need to start with a story. Take notes. We started by saying that you need to take ownership of the inspection by ensuring that you are in the same vehicle with your prospect. If you need to drop the vehicle, just drop it and join theirs. If you need to talk them into your own vehicle, it is better for you, because that way you are in control of the steering, at least. You don't get it. So
you get to your own determined bus stop.
Yes. Yes. So now, start with that story. From Omole, somebody missed it, but thank God he was able to still secure something. As you drive out, that is if you are starting from Omole, that is the headquarters of the company at the moment. Now you moved out to Bega. Bega, Ojodu area where you are going to go and connect the expressway Brahma Desoya area. I mean, that's under the bridge axis and all of that. Otedola, thank you, sir. Otedola, a lot of people used to talk about the story of Otedola, how it used to be, to Magodo. And I mean, I remember somebody telling me, she said each time they are going to their hometown, they are from Benin, that when they are going during Christmas, the mother will be looking at Magodo and will be saying that, Abori, when he came in Wagbenu, they said me should come and live inside this bush. They're pointing to Magodo. Magodo is Magodo. That's the real name of Magodo. Magodo, that means don't pound. If you pound, your house will go down. Because it used to be Okuopano. That is the bamboo forests. So, and anywhere you see bamboo, you must know that that is a swamp. It's a wetland. That's Magodo. So they call it Magodo. Now, if you go towards, if you link and you are going to Magodo, your left is Isheri Magodo phase 1. Isheri Olowo Ira. Olowo Ira is Olowo Tin Raira. Olowo Lon Raira. That is a rich man that buys swamp. So all of those places are swamp. So nobody wanted to go there. Because you will physically and literally be seeing monkeys jumping from one place to another. Those times. Nobody wanted to go. So the woman said she will be telling, her mother will be, and I knew her mother before she passed on, that the mama will be saying that, hear me, abori, God forbid. Now, while she was saying monkey, some others are saying the future. They were seeing beyond the monkeys. So now, taking it away from that place, you now switch to the Ikorodu Road. When you get to Ikorodu Road, Ikorodu Road, you know, it's the most developed place on the island then, as they used to say, is the K2 My 12 axis. As a matter of truth, where My 12 is today was a thick forest, and government decided to throw the market into the place to bring development. And now development has caught up with My 12 today, and that's why they decided that they are taking them to Imota Agbawa axis. As we speak right now, the construction is ongoing. Now, because of the fact that development has caught up with the present My 12, and it is leading to ethnic war or riots between one ethnic group and another. Some people believe that they got there first. An ethnic group believe they got there first, which you know what I'm talking about. Another group is saying that this is our land. You can't know it. So because of that, they are taking them away because development are fully cut. As I speak to you, information available to me is that the particular land around that axis has been shared, finished on paper. It has been allocated. It's for it to just be demolished and to take people to the Imota Agbawa axis. Now, many of our parents said, My 12, God forbid. Allah maje oko ata. That is pepper market or pepper farm. You see, for you to be able to buy a place in K2 now, you know what it means. Ikosi. That's where we even have TVC. And their neighbors, those who could not afford Magodo today, they go to Shangisha and Ikosi. Now, more than the title of your message.
Yes.
So, now, before you know it, the prophet is also telling you the story he had about his father. The story he had about the mother. The mistake his grandfather did. And before you know it, you don't know that you have spent 1 hour to get here. But when we sleep and wake up, it looks like a journey. So, having said that, you are here. You are offering him 500 square meter. What does 500 square meter looks like? You need to display it. That's part of the things we'll be doing here. So, Mr. Dominic will be joining us very soon after his video. Once he's back, we'll look at how to display to your prospect what 500 square meter looks like on ground. Because some people will tell you, I shared this some weeks back, that some people will tell you that 500 square meter is too small. Because why? It's coming from Enugu, where a standard plot size may be 1,000 square meter or 1,200. It's coming from Maiduguri, where a standard plot size may be 2,000 square meter. And where they will be begging you that please buy 2,000 square meter. So now you are offering them 500. So it's asking you, do you think I want to put a BQ here? I want to build a palace. But if you don't also know what 500 square meter can do, you'll be thrown off balance. And when you tell him to buy 1,000, he's looking at the amount for 500 plus the amount for another 500, and he's saying it's too expensive. So you need to be able to understand yourself what 500 square meter means. Some will talk to you and call it as square meter. Some will talk to you as feet. So, but it's all the same because it is convertible. So that's part of what we want to do here today. And also, the question will be, why we're waiting for Mr. Dominic to come for the display of the 500 square meter. Now, why did you bring me to a place where there's water? Have you thought of that before? Okay, so how much does a plot goes for in this place? Does anybody know? 5 million. Okay. So why did you bring me to a place where there's water? Because it's obvious, you can't hide it. And they will ask you, why? Does anybody wants to help me? I want it to be engaging and interactive. Yes, sir, Mr. Alu.
Anytime where there's anything like development,
yes,
like
sir. Yes, sir.
The value of the property.
Thank you, sir. You have a good point, sir. Anytime there is development, anywhere you get to that you tend to see water, there is a prospect of future development in that can be convertible to a premium property. E.g., a Morocco that is now VI, Eco Atlantic, Magodo, Festac, Banana Island. So there's something about water actually. That's the truth. There's something about water. You know what? The people who always build on water, there's a way the poor thinks and there's a way the wealthy thinks. Now, the poor run away from trouble. The rich embraces trouble. Because inside that trouble, there is something big inside. So why the poor will say, Lola Lulumi, oh, foundation going to Kobongalu. That you want to go and buy a waterlogged land, that the money for the foundation is enough to do bungalow. They have a point. But the rich will rather put that bungalow inside the water and will build a premium property on it and get a premium amount. Now, there's a place on the island called, okay, I won't mention the name because we're on camera. Now, because it's another company's brand and I don't consult for them. So they had to go and feel the middle of the ocean. And they got their name from that sand filling. And one of the requirements for you to be able to buy land inside that place is you must have a speedboat or a yacht. Yes, sir. It's another level. Yes, sir. So I met the MD of the company and I said, I like my company to be among the companies that will sell for you. And she said, Mr. Adeyemi, sincerely, it's sold out. The entire estate is sold out.
How many hectares or acres?
Massive. They went to Sandfield in the middle of the ocean. And number one requirement, among others, is you must have a yacht. Now, so you know who your potential neighbors are. Ikwe, no, makpade for tembe. You don't get it, Baba. Ikwe, if I was not married, Ibe mas lo shomo. Amen. On the pastor lórí irọ́. Oh, pastor gbọ́dọ̀ wọlé eré. Amen. Hallelujah. That was on a lighter note. But that way, you already know who your potential neighbors will be. And that your neighbor is doing something good means that God is still in the neighborhood. Yes. That he will do greater for you. So if they tell me my neighbor has a yacht, I know he's not an ordinary person. It's an established fact. So the phase 1 is sold out. They took everybody away from town, went to situate them in the middle of water. So it's for the strong, brave, and people with a lion's heart. It's another level. To do business in that place, you don't source for business. Business will source for you. Yes. I will close deals in billions in my estates in that place. All right. So what are we saying? While the poor will run away from a place like that, even if it is sold for a cheaper money, the rich will carry themselves there and say, anybody who have not eaten well. Do you know how much they sold a plot of land there? 400 million. What? Yes. In Lagos. Yes. Sold out. Now, I was with one Top Shot some days ago or some nights ago, and she was asking me, tell me more about, she mentioned the name of the estate. Tell me more about this place. I know you know the place. And I smiled. And I said, I know that's the next place you are targeting. She said, yes. So it's a place for 1% of people. 1%. The 1% inside 1%. The phase 1 is sold out at 400 million per plot. So if you buy a land of 400 million, which type of house do you think they will build there? So now, what led to this is somebody coming and telling you, why take me to a place where I have to sand fill? It's an investment, truly, but an investment that is worth the while. Now, if you want a place that is not sand fill, that you don't need to do sand filling on this stretch, you won't pay 5 million. That's the truth. You cannot pay 5 million. Except you want to buy from an unorganized environment or area, which you are susceptible to Omonile Wahala. This is an estate, and you will enjoy the facilities that people outside the estate may not enjoy. You will enjoy security that people outside the gates may not enjoy. So, how much do you need to do the sand filling? Is another topic. And the truth is this, it does not require so much. You just need to use a professional. That's the truth. It does not require so much, but you need to engage the service of a professional. That's the truth. Because you can see a particular water terrain, and what you are seeing, when you are thinking of putting 10 trips of sand there, a professional will first of all do something. He will do a test. A soil test to know what is the depth of the edges of your one plot, and you discover that the depth of point A is different from point B. Point B is different from point C. C is different from D, and the difference is what will determine the number of sand that will go into it. So you see some places as water, you may not need more than 2 trips of sand in the 4 edges, and you see another edge, it may require 10 trips. You may see another edge may require 5 trips. You have to wait for the test result, the soil test result to be out, to be able to get a recommendation on the number of trips of sand you need to put in. However, what is required for block A plot 1 will be different from what is required from block A plot 2, depending on where you are located. So take away that fear of Ile Olominibi. It is not. You can see water, but what you put into it is different. And the height you are going is a function of how much you need to put in the foundation. So if we're in the same estate and someone is going 10 floors, and another person is doing a bungalow, they are not the same. That's the truth. So don't tell your prospects they need not be scared. Anytime they get to a difficult terrain, one, it is not for chicken-hearted people. It is for a category of people. And that's the truth. And I always say this, everybody cannot be my customer. If you don't have a heart, I'll take you to where people like you are. It's the truth. When it is time to tell my prospect the truth, I do. That's the truth. In a polite way. So a lady told me, one of my ladies told me, she said, sir, you just politely insulted that person. But the person may not know that I insulted. It may be when he's going home. I say, but after you have finished talking, you say, it's going. Say, but by the time he is conscious, I've gone. So you can talk the truth to your prospect. Because why? Don't only look at their pockets. Look at what will benefit them. Oftentimes, some of them don't know what they want. They are only looking for who will counsel them to get the right thing. And you are in the right position. And this is one of the investments that requires so much knowledge for you to be able to guide the people. So you don't misguide them. And you know one thing about you taking people to buy properties? In the next 10 years, they will either pray for you or curse you. That's the truth. But if it's coming with prayer, they will never forget you in their biography. That thank God for this person who made me to get my first property in life. Because you don't even know some of the prospects you are talking to. Some of them are battling with some spiritual issues that they work so hard, but they can't point to what they do with money. And now you are coming as somebody who wants to go and liberate them. And you think it will be easy. It's very spiritual. Don't let me turn it to a service. Great man. So, having said all we have said, it's time for us to practicalize what a 500 square meter looks like. Why are you? yeah, let's go. Where should we use? Should we use that span? Because we can't go inside. We need a bigger place.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Let's take a stroll forward. No, 100 by 50 fits. So we just need 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Yes, sir. We need just about 4 people. One. Pastor, please come. So from where you stand, so stand this way, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. We're using your feet. We'll be counting. Count 50. 50 feet. No, we're doing 500 square meter. So we're doing 50 by 100.
Count out, so we help you to count. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34.
We're selling 500 square meter here.
36, 37, 7, 38,
39, 40. So you can please, I need somebody to stay here. Also, here. Yes, sir. Where you stop. So this is 40 feet. You can see 40 from that end, from where our brother is standing there to here. It's 40. It's not up to what it should be. We're still supposed to go to 50. So that is the breadth of the 500 square meter. So just let's count. Pastor, you count this way. Yes, ma'am. No, 50 by 100. 50 by 100. So 50 by 100 will give you 500 square meter. So it's 50 feet by 100 feet. So can we from that place, sir? It is our good. So okay, sir. Oh yeah, we need
That would have been better, sir, because of this.
Okay, because of. Okay, should we count from here? Yes, ma'am.
What of people who have summarized feet?
No. Yes, sincerely, in most cases, no. It will amaze you that the way God made us is very funny. You will discover that the difference will not be too much at the end of the counting. Yes, sincerely, it will amaze you. Yes. So no, we're not talking about teenagers or children. We're talking adults. Yes. The difference will not be too much. If you see somebody who is driving a car, who is driving at 240 kilometers per hour, and another person driving at 120 kilometers per hour, if the man at 240 kilometers per hour gets to the destination, and I get there, if I'm driving at 120 kilometers per hour, maybe the difference will be about 10 minutes.
Yes.
That's the truth.
10 minutes at least.
So the difference is not always much. So can we have Pastor? Yes, sir.
They will use tape.
Yes, sir. We can use tape. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They won't use that. But when you are going, if you don't understand it well, it may be difficult for you to use a tape. Yes. So let's have physical. Normally, the people you are talking to, we prefer that you use leg to count for them, and they see it by themselves. So the wife can go at home and go and be disturbing the husband that Olu ileye tobi o, 500 square meters is not small. Emi go refund ara mi, oya je nse, wo dúró síbí. Especially except if she doesn't like the place. If she likes, the husband will buy.
So we also call this pacing. Pacing.
Pacing.
Okay, pacing. Yes.
So can you see what we are saying? Look at the distance. Mr. Olu, you have left that place. I see. No, I need somebody there. Okay, I need somebody there to have a feel of what it looks like. We need 4 people at the edges when we concluded. Yes, we can see the size. So, sir, will you stay there? Thank you, sir. So, how many are we now? How many is that, sir?
Almost 70.
70, okay. Can you see one plot? 500 square meter.
You are still going.
It's big, yes. But a lot of people don't know.
Where did the money like 600 square meters? Just for 60 here. 100. Is that what?
No. For some 60, it may be 120 by.
120.
Yes, ma'am. By you can do 100 by 120. So 60 by 100, break it into 2. So it will give us maybe like instead of 50, you do 60 by 100. 60. Yes, sir. 100. Okay, 100. Yes, sir. I need somebody here, sir. Thank you, sir. So we now have another 50. So let's take it this way. Somebody should just go to the direct opposite. Yes, where he's standing.
So that's a question.
Yes, sir.
648.
Yes, sir. 120 by 648. 120 by 60. That's 640. Yes, you don't actually get the 648 eventually. It will be about 640.
Sir,
yes, sir.
This 100.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it possible for one plot
yes,
to have
sir.
this kind of length?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's possible. Yes, sir. It's possible. No, plots
look longer than
plots are irregular in shape in most cases. You don't always have it rectangular. It can be triangular. It can be a trapezium. But what's most important is it must be 500 square meters when they had the edges together. But if you see, many people will love a direct 4-corner plot. That will be, but it's not that common. If you see a layout of an estate, you see that the sizes are always not the same. You see, some people will tell you that they want a corner piece. Corner piece may come as 600 square meter or 550 square meter. Corner piece, that's the end plots in a particular row
So that in
or in
future
a
you
block.
can put shop.
No, where you have
No, not shop. No, I'll explain. I'll explain. I'll explain. Let's be done with this. Do we have somebody there, sir? Pastor? 40. Thank you, sir. Oh yeah, one house. One house. One house. One house.
No, don't leave.
No, please stay. Please. Now, from what we are seeing here, please, from what we are seeing here, we can practically see that what we have here is 40 by 100. So 40 times 100 is what? 400 square meters. So what we are seeing here, from my brother here wearing blue, to my other brother there wearing blue, to my other brother there wearing blue, to another brother here wearing blue and red. So when you see the 4, this is 400 square meter. Now, tell me why you should say my 500 square meter is small. It's because we may not really have the required information and skill to be able to display it. But with this, my befa, ipe madam, tell me you don't have money. But if it's about the size, tell me. This is yes. So now somebody asked me a very simple question yesterday. Let me say this also. Somebody asked me a very simple question yesterday that, sir, one of our estates that we're doing 600 square meter. What can a 600 square meter? One house, please. I like that. So somebody just asked me that, what can 600 square meter, what can it do? And I said 600 square meter. I said that's a lot. She said how? I said with your 600 square meter, you would do a 4 flats, 3 bedroom flats, 3 bedroom flats. Then you now have another 3 bedroom flat on top, another 3 bedroom flat, making 4 flats. Now move to the next side. After leaving about 3 meter distance between the first building to the other building, then you can also do a bungalow for your parents in a 600 square meter. Now, in most cases, what makes people feel that it's too small is because of the quack architectural hands they involve. From the beginning, you can get it wrong. Even if your plot is massive, if you engage an architect that you pay 10,000 naira to. That's the truth. Yes. Only 10,000, only 20K. So, yes. So don't make sure that the kind of architect you're going to get must be a qualified architect who has skill in space management. See, from this 400 square meter we can all see, you can agree with me that you can do a 3-wing terrace duplex. A 3-wing terrace duplex.
have to tell you that it's 4.
You can. So I'm just talking about, I want to be lavish with my space and make my tenants feel good. I do 3 for them on this 400 square meter, and I give them space to park like 3 cars in front of their terrace. Yes, after this, if you're doing 500 square meter, we still have like 10 inside. But somebody can tell one no. So and no, it's not yet. No, pastor the fair wobe. So no, it's only a man of God that can enter that place. And that was why God chose them to do this counting, because Jesus walked on water. Now, do you agree with me that 500 square meter is a lot? Now you can see what 400 square meter looks like. So don't let anybody make you feel, less a professional. Now let me tell you this. Some of those deals you ought to have closed. Some of the people you are talking to may not be able to afford your 500 square meter. Why not sell 250 square meter to them? Now the fear has been, what can 250 square meter do? So now, if we display what 250 square meter would do, then you understand better. So let's break 250 square meter into two, length and breadth. So if 500 square meter will be 50 by 100, so 250 will be 25 by 50 or 50 by 50. So let's do 50 by 50 will give you 250. So we can do, yes.
Since we can't get 50.
Yes, since we can't get 50, we'll do 25 by
No, we can do 50 by
50.
No,
We can't get 50.
do 25 by 100.
You can do 25 by 100. So, sir, Pastor, you know that he is there already and he is here already. So that is 100 already. So let's do
Just 25 here, 25.
25. 25 by 100.
25 by 100.
Yes, that's 250. No, you don't need it. It's just 25. From him to 25. You won't get up to 40 again. Yes, sir. So just count 15 out. Just count 15 out.
That means we are trying to get to the latitude.
Yes, sir.
aspect of it.
Yes, sir.
So that's why you see some people build one straight way.
Let's get, sir. 13, 14, 15. Yes, sir. 15, yes, sir. So I need you to come here, sir. Thank you, sir. What's the name, sir? God bless you, sir. So yes. So sir, can we have, sir, can you move to this position? One house, please. One house. Kò sígbà tẹ́ ẹ̀ ní ṣe kó lè wọlé tó tọ́ àwọn kọ́sọ́mà yóò ní gbà yín gbọ́ wọn ò ní gbà yín gbọ́ tí tẹ́ bá dé stage bàbá máa bọ́ style ni ipe ànílé ni ẹ máa drop check sẹ́ ṣé ẹ fẹ́ kí n tọ́ àná ìtura rẹ̀ àbí kí n gbé nǹkan mi jáde àánú àná ètì ti tó. So from here we can see 250 square meter. 1, 2, 3, 4. But let me say this. In most cases, the shape of the plot may not come this way. It may come in varying shapes. Trapezium, rectangle, horizontal, square, yes sir, square. But if you know people who have this kind of knowledge, they would ask you, can I see your layout? Yes. And they will say, can I get this one? You will know that they are knowledgeable. Yes. So when I hear somebody ask me such question, I always try to take the layout away from them. Because that means they have told me, especially when they want to do initial deposit, which is installment payment. You can't come and pick a plot when somebody who is buying outright has not picked. But if you are doing outright, we have done pick and pay before. As in, we're doing a promo at a time and we did pick and pay. You pay, pick your own chicken. So any dimension or whatever shape you don't like, you don't pick it. Now, and somebody asked me a question the other time that, what about corner plots? Some people call it corner plot, some people call it corner piece. It's usually the end. If you check the layout of an estate, you have the estate divided into different blocks. And once it is subdivided into plots in a block, the last plot on a street is the corner plot. People always ask for it because it has a potential of having two gates. A gate facing these major streets and the other gate facing another street. So, and in most cases, it comes bigger than the number of size of plots you buy. So like that the company is selling 500 square meter. Most times your corner plots may end up as 600 square meter or 585 or 550 or 525. But this is the caveat. Write a letter from the time you are subscribing that you want a corner piece. But with the condition that you pay the price difference. when it is time for you to be allocated. Sir, did you get it? Now, the price difference now, people always ask, is it the current rate or the future rate? It is the future rate when you are getting your allocation. It pays the company more, but on the other side, the individual, it pays them more because they know the reason why they apply for corner piece. The company cannot lose because in most cases, we have a corner piece in one of our estates that is more than 1,000 square meter. They try to cut it, but when they cut it, it gets wasted. So they just left it as 1,000 something. So and somebody said, I like it that way. Money speaking. Yes, sir. True. So some people may have planned to do once a small commercial activity inside their house. Maybe they are making wig. They have a small boutique. They have, some people are doing some e-commerce. They have some e-commerce store in their houses. So they can buy a bigger space to be able to use it for such. So, but whichever way, you have seen what the half plot they are shouting is too small looks like. Half plot 250 square meter. Oga no Toby say. So you can see that this is 25 feet by 100 feet. So, or you say 50 by 50. It's because we couldn't count 50 inside. That's why we did 25 by 100. But if you want, like you can see that this person may be a bit constrained in terms of the breadth. So he may decide to build this way and face this place. Simple.
So let me add.
Yes, sir.
When we are selling at GTech Stones, it's 600 square.
Aha. So which is massive.
600. Across all our estates. Only in Jasper, Abuja, are we
They have
selling
500.
Others
600. So that means that 600, break 600 into length and breadth. That's what? 60 by 100. So imagine 60 to enter this bush. 40 and half of this 40 joined to it. Imagine it. That's a palace. What do you want to build, Goto? I mean, so don't let anybody mesmerize you with questions as to your size is small. Your plot size is small. It's not small. It's big. So let's take questions before we. Yes, sir.
Can you differentiate between the 60 feet and the 120 feet?
The 60 feet. This is the 60 feet, sir, and this is 120. So the 60 by 120 is 60 feet multiplied by 120.
Because I'm actually
Yes, sir.
asking the question
Yes,
based
sir.
on what you just said.
Yes, sir.
You said most of their estate
At 600 square meter. Yes, sir. So 600 square meter is not 60.
60 by 100.
It's 60 by 100. Yes, sir. It's 60 by 100. Yes, sir.
Sorry, sir. My own
Yes, ma'am.
question is for lands like this.
Yes, ma'am.
A lot of times I have clients ask me,
Yes, ma'am.
like, just estimate how much will it cost me to do sand filling and all that.
Okay.
I know that from your explanation today,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
said that it depends on, the result of the soil test.
Yes, ma'am.
That will now determine. But most times they don't want to say.
Please,
that.
let's move closer so we can get what they
Most
say.
times they don't
You can
want
move
to
closer.
say.
Thank you so much. Sir, we can move closer. Thank you, sir. God bless you. Thank you. You don't know what happened now. You are pillars. And you know what pillar means? That is the strength of families. No one will pull you down. In Jesus' mighty name. A pastor shared an insight with me. Sorry, ma. A pastor shared an insight with me. He said, as the church construction was to start, somebody met them, one of the members met them and said, sir, you know what? I volunteer to drop all of the iron and the roof for the building. I volunteered. He said he was very happy and said, thank you, sir. God bless you, sir. That's the general overseer speaking. He said as he left, God told him, he said, no, let the church take care of the iron and the roof, because it means that the roof is to have a place to hide and the iron is for strength. Don't let them take the strength and the hiding place away. So when we needed volunteers for those four corners, we're looking for people that God will turn into pillars in their families.
I'm with you, sir.
And the best. Yes, sorry, sir. Yes, sir.
So my question is, how do you tackle such question? Because the clients might tell you that they want to have an estimate, an idea of how much it will cost them to do that
Yes,
before they buy.
Yes,
but from what you said, they have to buy for us, then now do soil tests.
Yes, ma'am.
So how do you tackle that?
Okay.
So that they can buy?
Doing the sampling, right?
Yes. No. It's not you buy. If you want to engage the company to do it, you pay.
It comes with an extra cost.
It comes with yes. So now, in tackling such, we just beg Mr. Dominic to give a feedback on the group in relation to that. And it has to do with the plot that has been filled, just to test run, one plot. Okay. How much did they cost? Now, after that, then, I'm sure the MD spoke with me about starting some unit of houses here, just like he's doing in Jasper Estates in Ibejuleki. So, how much did they cost to do the kind of foundation that is being done? So once those ones are sorted out, but we don't need to wait till that time. On the average, let's give plus or minus. For you to do like, I don't expect anybody to come and put bungalow here if you are sand filling. I will expect you to come and do at least a story building. Maybe 2 flats, 4 flats, because it's actually a big plot. 600 square meter is massive. So the moment you can advise your customer not to think of residential alone, but to also think of business, rental income, then their head begins to work. That I've never thought of it before. I'm only thinking of, and that's how a lot of people think, until we enlighten them. Now, what gives you money is an asset. What takes money away from you is a liability. So if you build a house that you are living alone and you are maintaining it, it's looking like a liability, even though it's not. You are still spending, but it's not a liability. Because you are saving something that you should have paid for rent.
And the value is also appreciated.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So when you tell them, think of residential and rental income, then they get kind of excited. But the fear will now be, how much will I need to do such? So for you to do a standard story building, just 5 bedroom with an attached BQ, maybe give or take, you'll be looking at something close to, I'm not talking of luxury finishing, I'm talking of basic finishing with the current rates. You'll be talking about maybe 20-25 million. If it's a story building, 5 bedroom with an attached BQ. But if you now begin to think luxury, then you can do up to 100 million, you can do up to whatever million, you understand? But with the sand filling, let's add about 3 million. About 3 million. Don't quote me, because the soil test report is not yet out. But you have to simplify it for them that, okay, let's look at a give or take about 3 million, but subject to the soil test report coming out. Yes, ma'am.
How much is the soil test? Give and take.
To do the soil test, the amount.
Yes.
Maybe some people charge 200, some people charge 150, some people charge 100,000. Depending on number of pits or holes you want. Yes. If you are buying like a 1,000 square meter, you need them to check different holes, several holes. But if you are some people charge per hole. Some people charge based on the number of square meter. So, and they would now, be the one to now think, okay, I'm doing 2-3 holes here. Because some of them, when they get to that site, they can tell you this shouldn't be more than, but they don't work on assumption. They'll still want to do it. They charge you, now leave them to the number of holes they want to go and do. But if you think you understand it more, and you start talking to them about what they say, you want sharp, Abi. One hole is one bay. Let's go. So I don't know if you get it, sir. Did I answer your question, man?
Additional information.
Yes, sir.
There's a proposed road down here that will lead directly to the 4th mainland bridge that the
Praise
government
God.
we know is talking about. There's a road here
That goes there.
That will link the 4th mainland bridge.
That will link to the 4th mainland.
Not third. They proposed fourth mainland bridge.
That is the high point of this hospital.
Yes, ma'am.
One of its high points.
Key. Very key. Thank you for that additional information, sir. Yes, sir. One house, please. One house, please.
Somebody asked.
When you're talking about the layout,
Yes, sir.
you mentioned something like a block and
Yes.
plot.
Yes, sir.
So that's the block is what does it really
Main. Okay, sir. So let's assume that the company, let's assume this estate is 10 acres. Let's assume it's 10 acre. It's a 10 acre estate. Now, the layout, the survey will show it plainly that it's all 10 acres. So, but by the time the surveyor now comes in, the surveyor will now begin to subdivide into plots, 600 square meter on paper. Now, they introduce the road, they introduce the other infrastructures or other developments or other sections, or we can call it facility. Thank you, sir. That's what I'm looking for. Yes, sir. About 50 acres. So now, on that 50 acres, I'm just using the exact...
50 acres.
No,
no.
I always try, let's try to guard against this. Most times, prospects will ask you, how many acres is the entire estate? I always guard against it. Why? Because when you say it's 50, somebody can say it's too big. I don't want a big estate.
It will be too crowded.
Yes, I'm talking by experience now. When you say it's 10 acres, you can say, though it's small, but it's still better. At least it will be, there will be some level of sanity. Yes, people say it. Yes. When it's too, so because of that, because I know I've lost 1-2 deals to that, so I don't disclose. That is not for me. I'm a salesman.
How do you avoid it?
Okay, how do you avoid it? You can't avoid it, sir. For somebody to only conscious, I bury. In most cases. Did you get what I said? So, like, what I say, the way I've always handled it is, that is in the jurisdiction of the acquisition departments. So when we have reached, yes, there are people that acquire. There's a department in charge of acquisition. So now, when we reach the number of plots they want us to sell, they'll tell us to stop. But for now, there's still something for you to buy inside this place. Once I see a red light, then I know I'm not selling again. A woman chatted me some few days ago. She said, sir, is that your estate that you told me about? Is it still available? I said, welcome back from slumber. It's still available, but for a better price. It's for a better price. And when real estate prices, they're always better, but just bigger. She said, sir, can you still... She now started go and forward all the messages we've exchanged. She now started forwarding it back. See, she was quoting me. See what you said now. See what you said. I said, ọmọ tó bí ń gbà yẹn gan ti ń pe bàbá àti sọ school fees fún. You know, humorously speaking, you know, when children are growing up and they start saying ba, the mother is happy that the child has started talking. But baba ti won school fees. Ibe ọmọ tó ń pe bàbá yìí àsìkò school re. Baba. If the man is not responsible enough, you say, ma pe baba, ma pe mama, because baba is saying baba is always school. That was a lighter note. But conclusively, it's important for us to ask God to grant us divine wisdom to know how to handle people, because they come with questions that are not prepared for. They come with questions that will throw you off your feet. Because why? Some of the people you call prospect, they're actually your competitors. Yeah. And they are sent.
To test you.
Only to test you. No, they are not testing you. But they are sent to actually know what you are selling. And I mean, how well they can come and fight you around that area. So that's why they come to ask questions. So they will, once you answer well, then they get to a point where they now ask you questions that they will throw you off balance before the prospect who are interested. You don't get it. One spy will mix with prospects and ask you a question that you won't be able to answer. And the other person will say, sir, thank you for asking that question. I'm not interested again. So you must be rooted enough. That's the truth. You must be rooted enough to be able to handle. Now, I'll answer this way. I'll just use this to summarize. So I can hand over the microphone to my coordinator here. So now, I'd mentioned it at the time. I went for a presentation in one of the top organizations. And somebody somewhere who is an influencer asked a question. And that question, you know, some questions that you first want to say, can I ease myself?
Wait a minute. Let me reflect.
So I paused. Because as at that time, that property didn't have a CFO. And people have swallowed everything said. And they were happy, eager to collect form. And just one question. That, what's your CFO file number? Yeah.
You went to file numbers.
File numbers. So, but the truth is this. The truth is this. By the wisdom of God, every property you see in Lagos, in Ogun State, and even in Nigeria as a whole, if they are to be asking or requesting for CFO, maybe about 20% will produce CFO. A number of properties. See, we said it at the last training, that it's better to be at peace with Omonile than to have CFO from government, and Omonile will not allow you to use the land. So I'd rather be at peace with Omonile than to have paper that I can't use the land. Okay, but what's your paper doing? You have CFO, and they won't allow you to climb the land. To gbé paper ìwọ bẹ̀ tó lù ẹ́, tó fi CFO ẹ̀, tó fi ṣàǹkàchì fún ẹ, tó fi nu ojú. You don't get it. Now, but it takes, no, you get some allocation papers from government. And the government will not they won't tell you to go and settle with Omonile. They just give you the paper, go and locate the place. You get there, people were there before you got there. How do you settle with them? You have to settle with them. That means you have to buy second time. Yes. So I advise all the time that you start from Omonile and end it with government by putting your papers together with them. So now, I was trying to talk about something.
How did you answer the question?
So I just told the woman, I said, you know what? This place that you are in, as we speak right now, didn't have a CFO before your company bought it. It was after the company bought that you started processing a CFO. Can I see the people in charge of the departments in charge of construction in your organization, or those in charge of paper and acquisition? So I just needed them to be able to tell me if you bought with CFO. So everybody kept quiet. So I said, one thing I will say is this to everybody listening to me. For now, the property in question does not have a CFO yet, but we've filed for the processing of the CFO. Now, to that end, I'll say that it was when you got into this organization that you met this woman who asked me this question. And the day you will leave alone. You won't live with her. If all of you will live together, that means this company has folded up. So, which we don't pray for. So all of you will go one by one. But the truth is this: if you are led to buy what I've come to sell, come and see me. Because I've observed that most times people who ask questions like this, they always come behind to buy from us. She was seated. Yes. And that, sincerely, I was not spoiling the show. That's how they behave. They discourage people and they come behind to buy. So that if you are convinced, if you need to do your due diligence and see what we are doing on that site, I challenge you to follow me. And let's take an inspection to the place. Some people clapped. Some people, you don't know whether she has brought her husband to come and pitch to them to buy, and they've not bought, or they are still thinking. And somebody now brought me from nowhere. And she already have, maybe she has a deal, how much commission she's collecting. You just come and you want to, or be bread the 200 naira, or be studio be me, or ma fi kobe. No, so at the end of the day, people who clapped knew that truly we met in this place, Jowabi. And when we are going, we have to be able to point to what we achieved when we walked here. So you will meet people that will ask you questions that will throw off balance. But please, don't be in a hurry to answer those questions. You remember Jesus, when they asked, who exactly, cast a stone to that adulterous woman. And they said, Master, soroni, anobìnrin alágbèrè ni, a fẹ́ sọ lókò pa. Jésù ní lórí irọ́. And he went down and he was writing. He was buying time. And he was asking, Father, don't forsake me at this time. What should I tell them? And God came to the scene and said, you know what? Anybody who have not committed any sin should be the first to cast the stone. Oh yeah, Jew. And everybody began to move. So most cases, it is not because I'm a slow talker, but because I'm thinking of what next to say. Because at every of my statement conversations, I'm connecting to the one who sells for me. That what is the next thing to say? What is the next thing to say? What is the next thing to say? So, I believe I've answered the question, sir.
Yes, sir. So that word block you mentioned, so I don't know that.
Okay, the block and plots. Okay, when I was saying that, do you want me to use another English for it, sir, or to explain?
Maybe another English, I don't know, because I'm hearing for the first time.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, I was explaining that, let's assume that it's 10 acres. And in the 10 acres, some parts, like 20% of the 10 acres, I'm not saying this 10 acres, I'm just using the example of 10 acres. Like 20% of it will be mapped out for recreational facilities. That's by standard, by law. 20% of the entire expanse should be marked for recreational facilities. So if 20% is marked, so they will now share all the other parts into plots. So they won't just share plots. They will say, this is block A. Block A can have 10 plots. Then there will be a road in front of it. A road can go this way, can go to the left. Then in front of that road, you will now have block B starting again. So you can have another, it might not be up to 10 plots, it might be 8 plots. Block A can have 10 plots. Block B can have 10 plots. So the reason for putting it into blocks is to enhance visibility. Each of the plots should be facing the road within the estate so that people will be able to gain access to their plots. So you can have block A, block B, block C, block D. E can start from the back. So we can, in most cases, they will do it this way: A, B, C, D, E, F. But if it is a massive expanse, maybe it has a longer breadth. So you can have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, depending on how they number it. So in one block, you can now have block A plot 1, block A plot 2, block A. So professionals will say A3, A4. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's not cast on stones. Yes, sir.
Different
So,
estates design how they want to.
so depending on any way, when somebody will understand it. When they say, "What's my plot number, sir?" Before they take me to site, I say block F3. They say FK. I don't know what here. That means the person understands well that F may be probably inside, but this is the code to use. In most cases, by the time, like the coordinators told us now, that there is a proposed road that goes to the 4th mainland bridge from here. In the nearest future, the company may decide to open another gate that will lead to that road. So when somebody is fighting you that, why are you taking me to here for G? You say there is a proposed future gate around the place. You don't need to come to block A gate to come out. That does not lead to fight. In fact, some people started coming to lobby for one block G and J around one of our estates because they saw that there is another road that will lead to a closer place to town. So meanwhile, before educating them, people always fight for B and C because we said we don't give out A. It's only reserved for the company to build. So people were lobbying for B and C. But after this kind of education to those stakeholders, they said, G let me fail. S-I-N-E-K. So I think we're good. Okay. So let me hand over the microphone to my boss, Mr. Dominic. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Amen, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Amen, sir.